What up, guys? Welcome back to another beer review. I'm getting into the pumpkin season. This is my first pumpkin beer review of the year of 2021, and this one I'm very interested in. It's not just a pumpkin ale and that's it. It is a pumpkin spice Vienna lager from Devil's Backbone Brewing Company. This is out of Lexington, Virginia. So when I was driving through Lexington or Virginia area, I grabbed this because it looked interesting. And it says, it's got cinnamon, clove, and nutmeg notes. This almost sounds like the Christmas beer that I'm always looking for. So maybe it'll be Christmas in August. Who knows? Let's see if this is, nope, it is not. I didn't think so, but you never know. So anyways, I'm very interested because normally it's all like a pumpkin ale. This is the Vienna lager. I like a nice Vienna lager. And I feel like pumpkin lends itself well for this particular style of beer. So I think I could either be wildly disappointed or this could be an exceptional pumpkin beer. And I know some of you guys dig pumpkin beer or you hate it. This is pumpkin spice. So which is often different from that pumpkin pie thing. But, I don't know. We'll see. Enough of that. Let's get into the review. Get into the smell. I'm getting the clove aroma. Boom! Right off the gate. That's the most prominent aroma so far. Pumpkin, then the cinnamon kind of notes come up. Not the pumpkin, the clove notes, and then the cinnamon. I think I am picking up the pumpkin spice, but the cinnamon and clove really, they're the more pronounced. I think just naturally they are more pungent, and so that it gets picked up easier than the pumpkin. It's there. You do have that kind of pumpkin spice, like latte from the coffee shop, but it's smelling like kind of what I'm assuming it would smell like. We'll see if the taste is there. I'll get into the specs of the beer in a second, but I'm going to recommend it on aroma. Let's get into taste. All right. That is not bad. That is not bad at all. That's kind of a dry finish. The clove is very pronounced. It has almost that Belgian wheat style clove thing going on. So when I first took a sip of it, it almost had that like Hoegaarden style like spice notes going on. It's like my brain was like, what is happening right now? So it has a lot of that kind of taste thing going on, which is very interesting. But of course, it's still like a Vienna-based lager. Now, the Vienna lager itself, I think it's fine. There's nothing like crazy setting the world on fire with the lager itself, but I think it's vanilla enough to add these extra flavors and not kind of like, get kind of strange. Like sometimes the beer style itself is so complex already. When you start adding other ingredients into it, it just kind of muddles everything. This particular Vienna is very basic, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but it's like a clear, clean palate to add other stuff to. So I think it's the perfect kind of Vienna lager to begin adding these kinds of different tastes and spices to it. There's a bit of maltiness to it. Not heavy. Doesn't stick to your tongue. It's almost like like there's this almost like a cream soda aspect to this maltiness to it. It's a very, you get a hint of that kind of charcoal taste, but there's almost like creamy, not quite vanilla to it, but it has almost it's getting there. It's thankfully it's not so like prominent that the cream soda kind of thing going on masks the rest of the spices. Although potentially that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I think of almost a cream soda type thing would kind of go well with clove, nutmeg, and cinnamon. I think that would go well with that. But I'm going to admit, the pumpkin, very minimal. You got to search for the pumpkin. If you were to crack this open, pour it, not look at the label, you'd think it was a winter seasonal beer. It doesn't have like that warm, higher alcohol content that some of the winter seasonals have. But it's got those spice elements that, the winter seasonals generally used to have a couple of years ago. And so if I wasn't looking at the label, I would think this was a winter kind of thing, not a pumpkin beer. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's fine. And if you're somebody that's not really hugely into the pumpkin beer, you might still be okay with this, because the pumpkin, it's hidden in that creamy, charcoaly, subtle malt and that almost Belgian wheat clove thing. It's almost hidden. Like, if you're not really looking for it, you might not even see it, or realize it's there. But it's a pumpkin. When you see the lager, it's like, okay, there's pumpkin spice. There's got to be pumpkin in here somewhere. So you're looking for it. So it's in there, but it's not as pronounced as the other stuff. So if you're kind of on the pumpkin, you still might be down with this one. And I'm actually very much enjoying this, so I'm going to recommend it on taste. Well, before we get to the next category, I'll read you the specs. It's just 5.2% ABV. Color is amber, because apparently you can't see it after you pour it. I don't know why they got waste packaging space on that. Tell me the IBUs or anything else. I know what the color is. I opened it. Or if you're drinking out of the bottle, you probably don't care what the color is. So it's 5.2%. Those are the specs. Next category is value for price. I'm going to be totally honest. I don't remember what I paid for this. I don't think there is a lot. I mean, I got it at like a Kroger's or whatever the Kroger version of it is in Virginia. I don't know if it's an actual Kroger's or if they, because you have Fry's in the Southwest, but that's just Kroger's, so I don't remember now. But it wasn't more than $2 or $3, and so for a craft beer, I think it's perfectly fine. So I'm gonna recommend it for the price.
I'm reminding you, come in.
Where I'm staying right now, they got the Alexa just spouting off reminders for I don't even know what. So if you hear any random voices shooting off, it's just Alexa. I don't know what it's doing. I always used Google, and I used Google, but I switched it to an Australian woman's voice, so it's like a little more, I don't know. But so I'm going to recommend it for a value for price. Next category is distinction. How distinct is it? And actually, yes, this is a very distinct beer. I don't think I've ever had a Vienna lager pumpkin spice. It's always like a pumpkin ale, and that's it. It has it's a red, or just a traditional nut brown, or like an Irish red. Not even Irish red. It's just kind of a basic ale. Here's some pumpkin stuff because we're supposed to do a pumpkin beer. But this, you can tell they thought about it. And that's the thing. That's sometimes the issue I have with certain seasonal beers, is you can tell that they just half-assed it because they knew they had to put out that particular season. Like, oh, we're supposed to do an Oktoberfest beer? Okay. Or, we're supposed to do this beer? That drives me nuts. It's like, you got to maintain the market, your beer on the shelves, you got to pump something out. And it's got to be brand new. And usually, so many breweries, you can tell they just kind of, we don't even care. Just this one, they put some thought into it. I like that. I have never had a Vienna lager pumpkin spice mix, and then that Christmas winter spice aspect going on works well with this one. So I have not had something like this, so I'm going to recommend it on Distinction. And drinkability, it is yeah. It is a nice, it's just a nice beer to drink. It's not too heavy. I don't think I drink too many of them because sometimes those spices get a little like, okay, I need to step away and do something else. But just for like a one-off kind of thing, yeah, that's totally fine. So I'm going to recommend it on drinkability. And last category is would I buy it again? And yes, I think I would. The pumpkin spice beers aren't necessarily like my go-to. I'll enjoy a couple during the season because it kind of gets me into that fall-time mood. And the thing is, you try a couple, you hate most of them, and then the season's done. It's like, well, those beers sucked. At least I don't have to deal with that anymore. This, at least I see it's like, okay, I liked this one. So I know that there's one there. Should I go back to the pumpkin beer? And of course, the pumpkin beers last through November and Thanksgiving time. So, of course, I don't know if this beer is even distributed up here, so I'll find out. But, yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, I give it the thumbs up on every single category, which means it gets the official Two Dudes stamp of approved. So, if you come across this and you like pumpkin beers, or you're kind of like a little indifferent, give this a try. I think it's definitely worth, giving a whirl. It's a nice addition to just a general Vienna lager. So I say, check it out. But have you had it before? If you have, let me know in the comments. And subscribe to all the good stuff. And so for now, for myself, and for Devil's Backbone Brewing Company's Pumpkin Spice Vienna Lager, take it easy.